Welcome back to Code Veronica X in 2026. This is episode 6. Let's get it. So Alfred is done arguing with himself here, so we're just gonna loot this OG Kush. Might as well combine it to make the 3X herb here. Very, very interesting conversation. Alfred out here. If you can't find a sister, become one. And it's crazy too, because at this point, you really think like, oh damn, there's Alexia. She's real. And of course, the legendary creepy lullaby there. So we're gonna loot the silver key here. And the whole canopy just slamming shut, you know, the Alfred's interior designer philosophy was just trauma, but make it interactive. And we can see the broken mirror there. There's some really good theories out there where that's Alfred just smashing the mirror because he sees himself and not Alexia, since he's you know, pretending to be her, Norman Bates style. So in this hallway here, we got more handgun rounds, and then we're gonna swing around the corner, and we're going to, I guess you could say it's Alfred's room. Yeah, this whole clock tower style Norman Bates private mansion is just so damn creepy. So in here we have the blue ant object. That's something that we're going to loot a little bit later when we come on back here to tie up some loose ends in the private mansion. But I don't think there's anything in Alfred's room right now, so we're just going to head on out. The music is just... After this, I think I'm going to do a Clock Tower 3 playthrough. I kind of have to at this point. The music just... The music and just the overall vibe here in the private mansion is just reminding me so much of Clock Tower 3. And that game is another Capcom banger, of course. And CVX levels of insanity 10x'd. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we're pretty much done here with the private mansion, private residence, and we're just going to head on back. I swear that was happening in slow motion. And I think I'm in danger. Yeah. Might as well use the 3X. Okay. We went from fine to back to caution. You know, if this was Remake 2, it would actually be a benefit, because when you're in caution in Remake 2, you actually run faster. But yeah. I choose not to kill the Bandersnatches because I have a lot of health. I can just tank it. Healing items, and I just want to save ammo for the Arctic base. So we're gonna go use the silver key. It's in the onboarding mansion. So many mansions. What, this is like mansion number 3. And we're going to unlock the silver door, which is the casino, if I remember correctly. You guys can see how many arrows, bolt arrows, it takes to down one zombie. The crossbow was nerfed, but also buffed in CVX. So here we go. We have the private casino, you know. Alfred told his interior designer to just he basically said evil, but make it Vegas. And we have the bowgun rounds there, flame rounds, as well as 2 pieces of OG Kush. Great stuff here. Stacking up the heals. And just like my ammunition, I'm saving my flame bowgun rounds for a little bit later. I think I have Chris use a lot of it too, because he's going to be fighting the giant worm a little bit later in disc 2. So now that we got all the items here, and we also revealed the piano that takes those little, I don't even know what to call them, those piano notes that have the holes in them. They were used in like those old school pianos that autoplay stuff. We're gonna be getting that a little bit later. First, we have to hit up this other silver door and grab the eagle plate. And inside this room, there's going to be a couple bandersnatches. So I'm not gonna kill them. I'm gonna tank the damage because I have three green herbs here. I'm gonna try to grab the eagle plate and just dip the fuck out. You can get stun locked here to death, which almost happens to me. Because, you know, again, D-Rust in 2026 just garbage movement on my part. I do apologize there. It took me forever to orientate her in the right angle to grab the freaking eagle plate. And over there by the projector is Hunk's memo. So you can read about that, get some lore. Basically, Hunk writing a memo about a freezer full of nightmares. So some more OCD item management here. Not sure why Past Me is doing this, because using the eagle plate will give us access to another box. If you guys remember in episode 1, when we were doing the 3D printing the windows with the zombos banging on it, that's basically where we're going. and how you can see an item box, but it's blocked. The door is blocked by a giant block. That's where we're going, so. But you know, when it comes to this OCD item management, it's just force of habit, especially if you're playing so much classic tank RE. This is just what you do here. So now that all the zombos are taken care of here, we are going to put the eagle plate in that little crest there. And then more zombies will come through. Really intense music for just standard zombies. Yeah, so I was trying to hit L1 to aim for the explosive barrel there. It wasn't working, but it's all good. So after we clear these guys out, we will gain access to the item box, as well as the back door to the metal detectors. Because inside the metal detectors, early on we looted the flame rounds, the BOW gas rounds, and a bunch of other goodies which we will need for the end of disc 1 here. Grab the flame rounds, BOW, first aid. Might as well grab the ink ribbon for fun. And also one thing that I would recommend, depending if you guys do this or not, I always forget to do this. Grab the empty fire extinguisher. I think what Past Me does is I swing all the way back around to grab it because you need it in the Arctic base to put out a fire for I think the Magnum. And I think Chris uses it too in disc 2 as well, so grab this OG Kush here, and then we're gonna head into the, I guess you could call it the infirmary room. So in this room, we have Dr. Zombie. He's fast and has way more HP than your typical zombie. The devs really buffed this guy up, and they pretty much were expecting you to take tons of damage fighting this guy. There's that body bag there. And we have the anatomist note here. Some pretty dark stuff here. My man wrote his confession like a LinkedIn post, so we're just gonna X out of this. And over here in the same room, there's a model figure with an eye socket. So we killing the Dr. Zombo will give us that eyeball that we can, you know, put in there. And we can see the body bag moving, you know. Here we go. We got tons of zombies here on fire. Straight up active torture area. Also grab the red herb here. Combine that for the red and green for the first aid spray. We have active cremation machines, pikes, bloody pikes, torture devices, chains on the wall here, you know. Umbrella's idea of a spa day on full effect here. And this zombie decided to turbo, but we took care of him. There's also another briefcase there, which we will be using the lockpick to unlock when we get that from Rodrigo. Damn, look at that. Blood everywhere. This Spanish Inquisition level torture devices. And then when we leave the spa here, we will be faced with the doctor. Oh, and here we go. We can hear the munching. When your coworker says he's bringing lunch, but you didn't ask from where. Yeah, we gotta get ready. Alright, corporate healthcare at its finest. Alright, so this is the end of episode 6. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next one.